and welcome to the show, Who Knew That? With your host, Ravina Ravichandran, the #1 show in all of Canada where you come with your situation to us and we come up with a mutual fund that you can invest in. Just yesterday, we got in a very unique situation that we've never seen before ever on the show. Before I'd like to go into detail, I'd like to call our visitor for today, Jack Notzoff. Welcome, Jack Notzoff, to Who Knew That? It's a great pleasure to have you here today to let us help you pick a mutual fund that best suits your situation. You are guaranteed today to walk out the door with a mutual fund that will help you know what to do. If many of you guys didn't know, Jack Notzoff is currently a student in grade 9 who just turned 14. As a gift from his grandparents who believed he is the correct age to earn a big amount for a special day, they gifted him $3,000. The question that brings Jack here today is what mutual fund exactly would best suit his case that can help him with long and short-term goals. If many of you guys are new to the show and wonder what exactly is a mutual fund, well, a mutual fund is a pre-packaged portfolio of investment securities managed by a professional. It is used to help you invest into something that will help you with long-term and short-term goals. It's a smart way to save money and be able to use it wisely. So let's get down to business. Jack came here today for us to come up with the best mutual fund that he can use. As the host, I researched many funds and came down to one that hopefully would best suit Jack. If the investor is a young person, Jack himself should invest in something simple, but it's well risky. Since many young investors these days like to take the risk, to know that it would be able to encourage them more and become more matured into the real world, this fund best suits for him. Being able to invest at a young age, also being in high school and soon to enter post-secondary, it's important to start thinking about university expenses and costs because it ties in with long-term goals for the future. As a grade 9 student, Jack should be smart and decide whether or not to invest so that 4 or 5 years later you can use the money to spend on the needs that is necessary. Since this is considered to be focused as a long-term goal for investment, an equity fund is most convenient. As per equity funds, it's more easier for young investors because expense rate is not as high. But equity funds do provide much risk where you can lose money, which is possible. Therefore, the fund I recommend for this young investor to invest in would be the RBC Canadian Equity Income Fund. An equity fund in general is a good choice to make because it can hold large amounts of investments that can be divided into bonds or dividends. Equity income funds in general is not recommended for investors who plan to invest for a year or less. It's more recommended for those who want to plan and think long-term wise. Therefore, this young investor who is currently in grade 9 and is planning to invest long-term as an option, this fund would best suit for him. For this student who has a choice to invest for long-term, the equity income fund at RBC can and does offer high return compared to bond money or dividend fund. Investing in an equity income fund in general is more convenient, where at RBC there are fewer transactions made and trading fees involved. It is much cheaper and easier than investing in other several funds. As for an overview of the fund's objective, it is to provide a high level of monthly cash flow and relatively tax-efficient distributions consisting primarily of returns capital gains, and interest income, and also to provide the potential for modest capital growth. As for the company's equity fund, the two managers for RBC's Canadian Equity Income Fund is Bram Spill-Fogel and Jennifer McClelland. Both Bram and Jennifer are Vice President and Senior Portfolio Manager of the Canadian Equities at RBC. Bram has worked in the financial service industry since 1991. In 1993 was when he joined RBC. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in commerce with a concentration in finance from McGill University and as well now holds a CFA designation, also known as a Chartered Financial Analyst.
Created using Powtoon.